Leo, if you've been carrying the heavy, suffocating weight of their apology in your energy, you're exactly where you need to be. Spirit is literally screaming the title of this reading to you right now. I never meant to hurt you. I'm so sorry. But here is the twist they don't want you to know yet. This apology isn't just about the mistake they made. It's a full, tearful confession of how utterly lost and empty they've been without your light. The silence is about to break, and the truth they're bringing is going to completely shock you. Before we dive into this massive September shift, tell me in the comments where you're watching from, and make sure you've liked and subscribed to lock in this energy. Let's get into it. Leo, listen to me. Something massive has shifted in the ether this September. I'm not gonna lie, when I first pulled the cards for you, the energy was so thick I could barely breathe. For the longest time, you were the one chasing, the one trying to fix, the one pouring your beautiful, fiery Leo heart into a cup that had a hole in the bottom. But then, you stopped. You finally pulled back. You detached. And honestly, that is the exact moment the entire dynamic flipped upside down. Spirit is showing me a profound cycle-ending energy here, like the Death card, but in a deeply liberating, soul-level way. You stopped chasing, and suddenly, they started panicking. Because let's be real for a second, Leo. You were so undervalued in this connection. I feel how much you carried. You were the emotional anchor, the one who gave real, unconditional love, fierce loyalty, and endless patience. You gave them the absolute best parts of yourself. You defended them, you celebrated them, you made them feel like the only person in the room. And in return, you felt misunderstood. You felt like your warmth was taken for granted, like your devotion was just expected rather than cherished. It hurts, MHM, it really does, when you give someone the sun and they complain about the heat. But you need to know that your effort wasn't in vain. You loved them the right way. You just loved them before they were spiritually ready to receive it. And that's where the shift happened. When you finally said, "Okay, I'm done carrying this," and you stepped back into your own power, they didn't just feel your absence, they were crushed by it. They didn't fully understand your worth when you were standing right in front of them, giving it all away for free. It's the classic human condition, isn't it? We don't know what we have until the energy changes. Your silence became a mirror for them. Without your constant reassurance, without your texts, without your radiant warmth keeping their ego fed, they were left alone with their own thoughts. And, they're staring into that void, and it is haunting them. I'm feeling a deep, heavy regret from them right now. Like a physical ache in their chest. They are realizing that the peace you brought to their life wasn't just a given, it was a rare gift they mishandled. The distance you created by protecting your peace forced them to look at the contrast between their current chaotic reality and the sanctuary you used to be. They're seeing that everything they thought they wanted outside of you is completely hollow. Meanwhile, look at you. Look at how you've transformed since you chose yourself. Spirit is showing me this incredible glow-up energy for you, Leo. You are so much more private now, so much more grounded. You've taken all that fiery, creative, outward-facing energy and turned it inward. You're radiant, but you're mysterious. You're not broadcasting your every move or your every heartbreak anymore. You've elevated spiritually, and people can feel it. Even if you're just sitting quietly in your room, your aura is taking up space. You have this magnetic, almost intimidating energy right now. You look like a sovereign who has finally reclaimed their throne. And this new version of you? It's driving them absolutely crazy. They're noticing you more intensely than ever before. They can feel that you don't need them anymore, and that shift from needing to wanting or not wanting at all is intoxicating to them. They're watching you from afar, completely mesmerized by how beautifully you've healed. They see that the person who used to beg for their attention is now glowing without them, and it is shattering their pride. They are trying to figure out how you look so good when they feel so terrible. I'm pulling the Ace of Cups and the Star for you right now. This is pure divine timing and emotional rebirth. The Ace of Cups is that overflow of new emotional beginnings, but it only comes after the Star, which is hope, healing, and spiritual alignment. You had to go through the desert, Leo. You had to feel that deep spiritual exhaustion to realize your own worth. This connection is going through a massive karmic mirroring right now. They are feeling the exact emotional neglect they once put you through. The universe is teaching them the lesson you tried to teach them with words, but they only learned through your absence. So, as we move deeper into this September energy, the foundation is set. You've done the hard work. You've healed the wound. Now, we have to look at what they are doing in the shadows, and how this massive realization is finally pushing them to break the silence. But before we get to the exact moment they reach out, we need to talk about the external blocks and the observer dynamic they are currently trapped in. Let's talk about this watcher energy, Leo, because honestly, it is intense right now. I'm pulling the Seven of Swords and the Moon, which tells me they are low-key stalking you. They are checking your pages, looking at your stories, maybe even asking mutual friends about you. They want to know if you're sad, if you're moving on, or if you're talking to someone new. But here's the thing they don't realize. Every time they look at you, they are feeding your energy and draining their own. You are living in your pure, sovereign Leo power. And they're stuck in this anxious, obsessive loop. They can't stop thinking about you. It's almost like an energetic tether. They pulled away to get space, but instead, they trapped themselves in a mental prison where you are the only thought that brings them peace, yet you're the one thing they feel they can't have. And I feel this deep inner conflict in them. They're so intimidated by you right now. Remember when you used to seek their validation? Now you don't even seem to care if they exist, and that shift is blowing their mind. They're fascinated by your glow-up. They see how radiant you look, how unbothered you seem, and it's making them question everything. But this fascination is mixed with a heavy dose of fear. They're scared that if they reach out, you'll reject them. They're scared that your new boundaries will shut them out completely. So, they sit in this paralyzed state, watching you from the shadows, longing for your warmth, but terrified of your fire. Now, I know what you're thinking. If they're this obsessed, why the silence? Why haven't they broken it yet? This brings us to the external complications, and honestly, this is where a lot of the frustration has been coming from for you. Spirit is highlighting a massive interference here. It's a mix of their own stubborn ego and some serious background noise. There is this karmic attachment, or maybe even a third-party influence. Could be a toxic friend group, family drama, or just the chaotic, superficial circles they've been running in. They use these distractions as an excuse to pull away from you because your love required them to be real, and they were hiding from their own shadows. But listen to me closely, Leo, because this is the emotional turn you need to hear. That external drama? It is crumbling. I'm seeing the Five of Wands and the Devil card reversed. The illusions they were chasing, the gossip, the ego stroking. From these other people, it's all turning to ash in their hands. They are realizing that the people around them are fake. They are surrounded by noise, but they are completely alone. The third-party energy or the family interference is actually backfiring. It's showing its true, ugly colors, and it's making them miss your genuine, ride-or-die loyalty so much it physically aches. You see, as a Leo, your love is fierce. When you love someone, you defend them, you protect them, you are their biggest cheerleader. They took that for granted. But now, out in the real world, they are dealing with people who only care about themselves. They are dealing with conditional love. And the contrast is staggering. Every time they interact with this external drama, they immediately compare it to you. They think, Leo would have handled this differently. Leo would have had my back. The interference that was supposed to keep them distracted is actually acting as a massive trigger, constantly reminding them of the royalty they walked away from. And this is where their ego is finally starting to crack. I'm not gonna lie, their pride has been the biggest wall between you two. They wanted to maintain the upper hand. They wanted to feel like they were the one in control of the distance. But control is an illusion, and the universe is stripping that away from them right now. The fear of looking weak is being replaced by the much larger fear of losing you forever. The external blocks are weakening because their internal desire to fix this is becoming stronger than their pride. They're in this messy, transitional space. They are shedding the skin of the person who hurt you, and it's painful. They are doing the shadow work, whether they call it that or not. They are sitting in the discomfort of their own mistakes. And, honestly, they need to sit in it. Let them feel the weight of what they almost lost. Let the external drama exhaust them until they realize that your peace was the only sanctuary they ever had. So, the stage is completely set. The Watcher energy is at an all-time high, the external distractions are failing, and their ego is shattering. They're emotionally raw, deeply regretful, and entirely focused on you. But what happens when this internal realization finally boils over? What exactly are they going to say when they can no longer hold it in? We need to look at their ultimate realization and the exact movement that is coming your way. Leo, we have to talk about the exact moment this realization hits them, because Spirit is showing me it's happening right now in real time. I'm pulling the King of Cups, but initially, it's reversed, shifting into its upright position. This is huge. This is the archetype of emotional maturity, and for the longest time, they were operating from a place of emotional avoidance. They couldn't handle the depth of what you were offering. But now, the reversal is correcting itself. They're finally looking at their own emotional immaturity, and the shame of how they mishandled you is overwhelming them. They're sitting in this quiet, heavy space, very much the Four of Swords energy, just replaying the memories. And they are comparing absolutely everything and everyone to you. You have to understand, Leo, the level of emotional safety, loyalty, and fierce protection you brought to their life is incredibly rare. Most people operate in transactional relationships, keeping score and waiting for the other shoe to drop. But you? You loved them unconditionally. You were their safe harbor. And now that they are out in the storm, dealing with the external drama we talked about, they are realizing that the harbor is closed. And they're the ones who locked the gate. I'm not gonna lie, the regret they feel is visceral. It's not just a passing thought, it's a physical ache. They are looking at their phone, staring at your name, and the words, "I never meant to hurt you," are literally echoing in their mind on a loop. They know they took your warmth for granted. They know they let their pride, their fear of commitment, or their own insecurities sabotage the best thing that ever happened to them. They see now that your boundaries weren't a punishment, they were a necessary protection of your beautiful spirit. And that realization is humbling them completely. They're experiencing a karmic reckoning, very much like the Judgment card. This isn't just a casual realization. It's a soul-level awakening to the magnitude of what they threw away. This brings us to the future movement, and listen to me closely, because this is what you've been waiting for. The energy is no longer stagnant. The dam is breaking. I am seeing a very clear, deliberate communication coming your way. This is not going to be some lazy, low-effort "hey" or a breadcrumb to see if you're still available. No. Spirit is showing me a confession. An actual, vulnerable apology. They're drafting this message, or they are working up the courage to say this to you face-to-face, and it is going to be raw. They are going to admit that they were wrong. They are going to acknowledge the specific ways they hurt you, which shows me they have actually done the reflecting. They aren't just saying sorry to get you back into their orbit. They are saying sorry because they genuinely cannot carry the guilt of hurting you anymore. They want to clear the air. They want to offer a bridge back to you, but this time, they are coming with a changed internal state. The ego has been bruised, yes, but it has also been humbled. They are approaching you not as someone who expects you to just take them back, but as someone who is asking for the opportunity to earn your trust again. I'm also pulling the Ace of Wands alongside this energy. This signifies a new spark, a new beginning, but it requires action. They are going to make an offer. It might be an invitation to talk, a request to meet up and clear the air, or a direct confession of their lingering, undeniable feelings. They are realizing that time is slipping away, and the thought of you moving on and giving this magnificent Leo heart to someone else is their ultimate nightmare. That fear is finally pushing them past their pride. The silence is about to be broken by the truth. But here is the emotional turn you need to hold on to, Leo. As this apology and this reach out are manifesting, you must remain in your power. Do not shrink yourself to make them feel comfortable about their past mistakes. When they reach out, you don't have to immediately jump to fix it or soothe their anxiety. You get to sit in your sovereignty. You get to evaluate if their apology matches their new actions. Because words are cheap, but energy never lies. And right now, their energy is screaming remorse, but your energy needs to scream self-respect. They're going to test the waters, and they're going to be incredibly nervous about your response. They know they are on thin ice. They know they have to prove that this isn't just another cycle of them pulling away when things get real. This time, the universe has backed them into a corner where the only way out is through genuine accountability. They are ready to finally reach out, Leo. The message is coming. The confession is brewing. But how do you handle it when it finally arrives? How do you protect your peace while leaving the door open for the reconciliation you truly desire, without losing the incredible glow-up you've achieved? We have to bring this all together in the final chapter, because the closure, the validation, and the empowerment you deserve are right at your fingertips. Leo, we have arrived at the culmination of this energy, and I need you to really let these final words sink into your spirit. The waiting, the wondering, the late-night overthinking, it is all coming to a close. This September is not just another month on the calendar. It is the definitive turning point where the universe finally balances the scales in your favor. You have done the heavy lifting. You have cried the tears, you have set the boundaries, and you have chosen your own peace over their chaos. And now, the harvest of that incredible self-respect is finally here. I'm pulling the World card for you right now, and it is absolutely beautiful. This is the card of completion of a karmic cycle, finishing exactly as it was meant to. You have successfully navigated the desert, and you are stepping into a new realm of emotional fulfillment. But here is the most important part of this reading, Leo. When that message finally comes through, and it is coming, you must remain in your Empress energy. You are the creator of your own reality. You are the prize. Do not shrink yourself to make them feel comfortable about their past mistakes. When they reach out with that apology, with that confession, your first instinct might be to rush in, to soothe their anxiety, to immediately fix the tension. I'm telling you, resist that urge. Let them sit in the weight of their own words. Let them feel the slight, healthy tension of waiting for your response. You do not owe them immediate forgiveness, and you certainly do not owe them immediate access to your heart. You get to take your time. You get to evaluate if their actions are finally matching their words. This isn't about playing games. This is about honoring the profound healing you've done. You are protecting your peace, and that is the most attractive, magnetic thing you can possibly do. Honestly, I know you felt this shift coming for a while. Your intuition has been whispering it to you, hasn't it? That little gut feeling that told you the story wasn't over, that told you their departure was a setup for a much grander return. Trust that. Your intuition is your direct line to the divine, and it has never lied to you. You knew your worth even when they were too blind to see it. You knew that a connection with this much spiritual weight, this much karmic significance, doesn't just fizzle out into nothingness. It transforms. It evolves. And it is evolving right now, exactly as your soul requested. I want you to really picture this. They are going to approach you with a new level of reverence. The arrogance is gone. The games are over. They're going to look at you and see the person who held the light for them when they were in the dark, and they are going to be overwhelmingly grateful that you are still standing there, radiant and whole. They are going to realize that your love wasn't a given, it was a privilege. And if they want to experience that privilege again, they are going to have to show up differently. They are going to have to build a new foundation with you, one brick of honest communication and consistent action at a time. But even if they stumble, even if their apology is a little messy or they take a beat too long to find the right words, remember this: you are already whole. You are already complete. This reconciliation energy is beautiful, and it is manifesting, but your happiness is no longer dependent on their timeline. You have reclaimed your power. You are the sun, Leo. You always have been. They are just a planet that finally remembered how to orbit you properly. As we close this reading, I want you to take a moment and just feel the relief washing over you. The heavy, suffocating energy of the past is dissolving. You are stepping into a season of being deeply seen, deeply valued, and deeply cherished. The universe has heard your silent prayers. It has witnessed your quiet strength. And it is orchestrating this reunion, this apology, this new beginning, specifically for you. Hold your head high. Keep your boundaries strong. And trust that what is meant for you will not pass you by. If this reading resonated with your soul, if you felt that shift in your energy today, I want you to claim it. Type, "I claim my peace and my power" in the comments below. Let that be your anchor. Make sure you've liked this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next update, because Spirit has so much more to show you as this situation unfolds. You are so deeply loved, Leo. You are so incredibly worthy. And your time is now. Until next time, protect your energy, trust your intuition, and keep shining. I'll see you in the next one.